the caveman principle. So this idea talks about how humans are inherently lazy. Okay. So the tactic here is the done for you model. Okay. People won't necessarily spend money, time, or energy unless they have to. To be fit, wealthy, educated actually requires work. Okay. Because the natural response is to not spend money, not spend time, and not spend energy unless we need to. So the tactic with this is the done for you model, in that you create a contract that's pre-filled out, has a check attached, you're skipping the verbal offer, everything's done and clear, and all you need to do is add a signature. The counter to this is your team redoes the whole offer, or you read through the offer details line by line and cross anything else out that you don't actually want. That's a done for you model, where it's like you're just handing someone something completely done already. Humans turn nonsense into meaning and meaning into nonsense. The tactic here is funny money, and funny money is similar to casino chips, right? Casinos know that if you play with chips, it's a lot more meaningless than if you use cash, which is real. You'll see this tactic used when we talk about bi-weekly payments in financing, instead of giving you the total amount. Real money is the actual price total after all taxes of what you'll be paying for. Okay, so you'll see a lot of sellers will use, biweekly payments. They'll use discounts and credits to give you a little bit of funny money. The counter move to this is you don't accept funny money unless it's in your advantage. You always want to talk in terms of real price, real money, total, and what is actually the full price after all is said and done. Now we also have the next tactic here. It's going to be create clutter and let others get distracted. This is the other law of negotiating and human nature. With this tactic, it's called the decoy. So there's actually no such thing as multitasking. All multitasking is switching between points of focus. So if you get others distracted and continually switch points of focus, the human brain can really only concentrate one thing at a time. I always make this joke that you put your thumb out like this and you aim at the thumb, like you close one eye, that's the size of your focus. Everything else gets blurred out. You can only really focus on that one thing. So you can actually use this to your advantage. You can clutter, you can raise extra issues, you can add more items to trade. The more items you have to trade, maybe you want financing, you want property inspection, you want a brand new appliances, you want brand new coats of paint, but what you really want is a discount. Okay, so with that tactic, you're adding a decoy. Instead of just asking for the discount, you're asking for small deposit, fresh paints, new washer, new dryer, longer possession. But what you really want is that discount. You're adding decoys in. The counter move, you want to simply challenge every single item and counter all points to determine what are the real important issues. Okay. Next law. This is the law that emotion will always overpower logic. Okay. Human brain is ruled by emotion. When people say, let me think about it, that just means they don't have enough info to actually make a decision. And this is a big reason why smart people do dumb things. Because when emotions go up, logic has a tendency to go down. You want to control emotions. You want people to justify with logic, but if you want to put them in a angered state, you put them in an angered state. You want to put them in a sad state, you put them in a sad state. You want to put them in these range of emotions where you're in control. It's in your frame, right? The tactic here is you put them in the driver's seat. I'll ask the question sometimes if I'm negotiating with the seller, it's like, hey, imagine 5 years from now, how will it feel to solve this problem today? Solve your problem of getting rid of this distressed property. You want to move people into a moment of time where they're feeling like they're getting a great outcome. This is a big reason why we also stage homes. Okay? We let homeowners and home buyers fall in love with the emotional feeling of buying a lifestyle. Okay. Once they get into the house, the furniture is not going to look exactly the same. The counter move to this, you want to have your desired outcome written down. Okay. You could also bring an outside non-emotional advisor to help you out. Next law, Big lies are more believable than small lies. Tactic here is you want to ask for the moon. Okay, the human mind is very vulnerable to a big lie, so that crazy big lies are actually easier to believe. Okay, you want to watch out for this. The tactic is you open with an extreme position. You ask for the moon. It's a large, bold demand is actually hard to differentiate from positions that are smaller. And it takes a lot of energy from the opposition to bring you back. Okay, means you're putting a low ball offer. That could be extreme position, or you're asking for a lot if you're the seller. Ask for more than you know you'll get. Okay. Land value offer on a distressed property is your starting point because you don't want to leave money on the table. If you go in with your best offer, you don't have much room to move. But if you go in with an extreme offer, you have all this room to move and to make more money. Now, you want to be careful with this tactic, and you want to bring proof of your extreme offer and extreme position. And you also want to be a closer because you do enough of these offers. And if you don't close, you'll quickly develop a reputation where you're a non-closer, you're not an action taker, and your crazy low offer isn't something that someone will take seriously. So instead, what you can do is you can have a crazy low offer and have a high deposit and fast closing. Counter move, again, you could counter back with an extreme position, and you can also challenge their credibility. The moment you bring down someone's credibility, it's done for them, and now you're in a better position to negotiate. You also want to remember to monitor the rate of concession. This is the rate that things are given away. If you give away financing, you got to get 2 or 3 things back. Okay, you control the rate of concession. Next law we got here is need and power have an inverse relationship. Okay, the opposite of power is need. The more you need something, the less power you have. The more power you have, the less you need something. All power really means is the ability to get things done. If you say you're going to do something and it takes all this time, 5 years, 10 years to actually get it done, you have no power. Okay, you're just talking out of your ass. Now, powerful negotiator must rely on few needs. For every need that I actually need, I have 3 wants. Okay. This means that my rate of concession is 3 to 1. Okay. The less needs you have, the more walkaway power you have. Okay. The tactic here is you want to approach the other side with reluctance. You want to be slow. You don't necessarily want to be needy. Powerful people have the luxury of doing deals slowly, and a luxury, take the attention off, and I don't need anything from this other person. You could also blatantly state that I don't need to make a deal. Okay. The other option too is if they want to go fast, you go slow. If you want to go slow, or if they want to go slow, you go fast. The counter move is you always want to understand there's pressure on both sides of a negotiation. If they were truly not needy, they actually wouldn't even be talking to you about that negotiation. So pay attention to optics. Whenever someone's trying to push that they're more powerful, that they're less needy, it could all just be for optics. Next law, even barbarians think they are reasonable. Okay. The tactic here is the low and flexible offer. Okay. No matter how crazy or savage someone is, there's always a hint that they want to be reasonable. Okay. You want to remind others that you are reasonable. Everyone believes they're reasonable, and they actually believe that others are reasonable as well. So saying you're flexible gives the other side hope. Right? The counter here is you just counter back with a high and flexible offer. If someone gives you a low and flexible offer, you give them a high and flexible offer. You also challenge every single point. Flexibility doesn't really mean much. It's like, what does that mean? You're going to change your mind later? Flexibility is that little piece that just adds to the reasonability of another person. Okay. Next law, there's no such thing as equal, only different. And the tactic here is splitting the difference. A lot of novice negotiators will actually offer to split the difference and then meet in the middle. It's not a good practice. Don't make this a habit. Instead, you want to encourage the other side to split closer to your side. So let's say you're stuck at 100 grand, 90 grand. They want 100 grand to sell the house. You want to buy it for 90. So you say, okay, cool. We have you at 90. How about we split the difference? How does 100K sound? 99 sound, 98, 97. You're like, okay, 97 is good. Okay, well, I'm at 90, you're at 97. Let's split the difference. Now you're closer to 3.5. Okay. That's better than splitting the difference between 90 and 100, where you meet at 95. Counter move it back in your favor. If they're bringing it down, you bring it up. Okay. Next law, we don't know what our own minds want, and neither do they. Okay. A disciplined negotiator will prepare and they'll actually understand their own mind, but in the heat of the moment, with emotions and with a lot of back and forth, time being used, energy being used, the mind can be blinded. Okay. You want to master yourself before you master negotiations. A lot of people walk into a grocery store saying they're going to buy, some apples, but then they walk away with a bag of chips. Do not let your own mind wander in a negotiation. It is going to happen, but the tactic is to keep focused on one item that you want in the negotiation and then raise back issues if you go in and around that point. Make sure to write down what you want or else you will forget. Okay. I have clients that work on, say, like the dating side, and I always tell them, hey, don't get distracted with, say, the pretty girl. You want to write down exactly that you want. Okay. I work with a lot of high performers that want to have that like long-term relationship or get married in the future. So I tell them, write that down. Okay. What type of person do you want to be with? And then don't get distracted by shiny objects. Okay. Counter move is make them emotional about the small points in a negotiation. Okay. If someone's offering to give you free things, this could be another negotiation tactic. It just means it's included with something else. Next law, seek the forest from the trees. Okay. Sometimes you lose the battle, but you want to win the war. Okay. Do not lose perspective. You want to seek the forest from the trees. Okay. You can make the other person fixate on one item and then they could lose perspective. Okay. The tactic is don't lose perspective. Avoid getting sucked into small points by writing down your walkaway point. At what point you're just like, okay, not worth it, I'm walking away. And then write down your intended outcome. Okay. Ask yourself, if I do this deal today, what will my life look like a year from now? This gives you that long-term perspective. So we had the story where, there's family, they got the perfect home, they're making an offer on it, it's close to school, gives them the lifestyle that they want, but the seller wants 400 grand, they want 397. They go back and forth, they lose perspective that this house would actually be perfect for them, and then they end up killing the deal. Now, instead, they're living in the same place. They have to commute to work, commute super far to school, whereas that house was perfect, close to work, close to school, and a lot bigger. So they lost it for 3 grand. Is 3 grand worth it? I don't think so. If you get to live the lifestyle that you want, there's a higher price than just 3 grand. It would have been easy to just pay the extra difference and then get the lifestyle that you actually want. To counter this is where focus goes, energy flows. So get the other person focused on what you want. Next law, the strategic mind is unpredictable. Okay? The tactic is whatever you think, whatever they think you will do the opposite. Okay, there's a story with Caesar got captured, and then I think it was equivalent of like 12 million was his ransom that the pirates were asking for, and he just laughs at them and says, "Here, I'll offer you guys 60 million. You guys don't know who you just captured." So when the pirates and the captors are sleeping, Caesar's making noise, he's partying, he's trying to keep everyone up. When they're playing games, he tries to join in and play the games and act as a leader. He's showing care, and whatever he's doing was the opposite of what his captors thought he would be doing. They thought he would be scared. Instead, he was bold and showing that he would not waver. Once that ransom, that's what I was looking for. Once a ransom was given back, Caesar returns, but then he gets a whole army to just decimate the captors. Okay. So idea here is that you want to be bold and then give them something unpredictable. If they think you'll be soft, you want to be firm. If they think you'll be interested, you want to be uninterested. You want to position yourself to become unpredictable. Okay, do the opposite of what the other side thinks you'll do. Crazier demands will be more believable. However, this can be risky if you're not confident. Okay, do not try to be unpredictable if you're not confident you don't have real power in there. The counter move, challenge all positions, break down their credibility, and then show that you can be unpredictable in return. Next law, we got two more here before I let you guys go. It's appeal to the reptilian brain. Understand that the reptilian brain only understands fear, greed, and loves new things. So the tactic is exploit the value of new. Even if nothing is new, approach others with a new proposal. New will never go out of style. Okay? Use this after deadlocks. If you get stuck in a deal, switch it up a bit. Come back with a new offer. It doesn't even have to be super new. Okay? You hear and see car companies do this all the time. Every new year, new model of car. Vintage becomes new. The counter move, challenge validity of that new offer. Is it actually new? Show them, hey, like the difference is just a price. Like what's going on here? Finally, the last law, and we save this for last for a reason, is force a decision with an ultimatum. This is the take it or leave it offer. This is the last and final law. Ultimatums don't usually work and should only be used as a last resort. You either submit to the demands, and that can cause resentment in them, or they don't, and the deal's done. Okay. This only works if you have real power over the other side. Example, only if you have a house that it's the only one on the street of a very desirable street, and it's a very desirable property. But if you have competition, you can't really bargain this way. Okay. Only use this if you're ready to lose the relationship forever. It's adversarial. It's not good negotiating. It's direct, and use it with caution. Okay. The counter move is very easy. If someone gives you an ultimatum, just walk away from the deal. The one that crawls back loses. So a couple negotiation tactics there for you guys. Hope you guys got some value out of that.
And thank you again, Patrick, for this program. It changed my life. It changed my mindset. It changed everything. That was the best six weeks of my life.
I just want to give a shout out to my man Patrick. Just honestly been one of the best teachers that I've ever had.
It's a very informative course. Patrick works with you one-on-one, so if there's any questions or anything you might be doubting or you're uncertain of, he'll definitely be there to help. Honestly, highly suggest this course. It's taught me a lot through my journey.